Last video I went over the eviction I just went through. Today I'm going to be going over the items you need to go through your eviction that you don't want to be without. Hey, I'm Emmanuel. Welcome to If I Can, You Can, channel where if I can do it, you can do it too. Now, we discuss real estate investing and home renovations here. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I want to hear everything y'all have to say. Now, today we're going to be going over the eviction I went through recently and the things that I want to make sure you have for when you have to do your eviction, and hopefully you don't, that you have that will make your life a whole lot easier and that you have your ducks in a row for when you need to do it. Now, number one thing is you're probably going to want to have a lawyer that knows what's going on. The real estate law and landlord law is really complex. If it's your first time, you're going to really want this. Now, if it's your 100th time, you're probably going to know like the back of your hand. But for people that your first time evicting somebody, you're going to want somebody that you can bounce the ideas off legally. Now, when we went through this, the great thing about this is that we already had our property manager, their partner is in real estate law. So we could bounce the ideas off of it as part of the company. They still will charge us for that service, but to minimize that cost, what we can also do is look up ChatGPT or any of these AI platforms, plug it in, tell them what your city is, what your situation is. Hey, they violated this. They're not paying for this. How do I do the process? Hey, from this step of the process, what can I do if they file? What can they do to try to get out of it? And it'll tell you, hey, they can file an appeal if you file this motion. And then you can even ask it, what do I do if that happens? And it will tell you everything you need, the document you need, how to fill it out. And what we ended up doing is doing that, making a plan for every contingency that can happen. We put it in front of the lawyer. He looked at it and he's like, you know what? That's exactly what you can do. And here's all the information you need. So what that did, instead of us being at the last minute scrambling to get the information like the ledgers and the records from us talking back and forth with the tenant, we had all that ready to go when we were in court, and we had all that ready when they filed the appeal. So as soon as they filed the appeal, we went right with the information that they need to make sure like, hey, nope, this has been handled. This is not what you think. Another thing that you may want to do is when the day comes, you're going to want, we have to evict them and get them out of the property. You're going to want to make sure you have it lined up with a moving company that knows what they're doing, takes recordings of before and after it to make sure that nothing's damaged. They can't make claims, because trust me, at this point, if they can make a claim that you damaged your property, they're going to do it. So make sure you have it all recorded and a company that can do it. The reason for that is you're gonna have like a sheriff or a marshal or some sort of law enforcement party there to help with the eviction. Those people are not gonna stay there all day as you're trying to save money and taking out one piece of furniture at a time. They are there for a couple of hours to make sure you move their stuff safely to the curb, and that is it. They are not there all day for you, so you wanna make sure you're moving quick with that, because if you have to have them come back out, you could be weeks down the road and starting the whole process again. Just don't put yourself in that position. So hire a company to help you move everything out very quickly. On that note, if you're trying to hire a law enforcement body that come out, because that may be something you want to look at. So let's say that the mortgage on the property is $1,500 a month. And let's say, like we just went through this, to get off duty for a marshal or a sheriff is $1,400 or $1,000. That money is well spent to have them come out and have it done within a week or two, than waiting 2 to 3 months where you're paying $1,500 every single time. Now you're up to $4,500 paying mortgage, where you could have just paid $1,400, had them out, put it back on the market, get it rented out again, or even sell it if you needed to. In the process of moving the stuff to the curb, if you have appliances in there like a washer and dryer, make sure you have that all documented before you move a tenant in. This was absolutely bonkers to me. But they're moving that lady's stuff out to the curb, and as they're moving out to the curb, I see the washer and dryer, which I bought with my own money, going out the door too. And I had to stop. Hey, no, that's our stuff. And the marshal's going to be there, or the sheriff's he's going to say, listen, you need to prove it's yours. Otherwise, he has to go out with the rest of her stuff, or and that's the way it has to be if you want this eviction to go through. And thankfully I had it, because that tenant was like, nope, that is mine. They're trying to steal it from me. I bought it with my own money and everything, and just claiming up and down that it was theirs. And thankfully I had the records. I showed them, hey, listen, this is my washer and dryer. Here's the receipt. Here's a picture of it before they even moved in. The marshal saw it. Okay, that stays here, and I got to keep my washer and dryer. But it is ridiculous what happens, because not only will they never pay the rent, they will also try to steal from you on the way out. You can't make this stuff up. Now, another thing is a locksmith or another set of locks. They were going to charge me about $150 per lock to swap them out, and each one had a handle that had a lock and a doorknob that had a lock, and there was 2 doors. So just to swap out those 2 doors worth of locks was going to be $600. I was like, the heck with that. I had them on site. I had them replaced right there and then. It cost next to nothing to have them replaced. So have a set of door locks, because you do not want the tenant having access to that property after you kick them out. They will come back and they will mess up your house. Do not give them that opportunity, because they know it's vacant. Don't put yourself in that situation. And then the final thing, and this is an absolutely crazy story, and I'm going to lead into this, is that as I'm swapping out the locks, I hear the tenant say, that's not going to stop me from breaking in. And there I am with a property manager, and we look at each other, we swap out the locks, we get in the car, we drive halfway down the block, and we start having a conversation of, you know what, I don't think they're going to let this go. I think they're going to do something to the property tonight. And I know a lot of people out there want to protect their own property and everything, and to each their own. For me, it's not worth my life to be in a property with someone who absolutely does not care about what happens to themselves. I don't put myself in dangerous situations just to put myself in dangerous situations. So we look at each other. We ended up contacting a private security agency. They said they were going to be a little bit later getting out, about 2 hours out. Took them 2.5 hours to get out of property. And sure enough, when they showed up, the tenant had kicked the front door in. I have pictures of it splintered out of the thing. I can't prove it was them, but nobody else would have done that. And thankfully, nothing was done on the inside of the property except for the door being kicked in. I'm sure it was one last, go screw yourself and kicking the door in. But thankfully, they were there. They secured the property, and they parked their car in the front yard, on the yard. So a little bit weird, but it's what they wanted to do. They didn't want to be in the street. Now, where they were positioned, there was a tree out there too. And this is the crazy part now. The tenant comes back, or a vehicle matching the tenant's vehicle, with a full U-Haul at 3 a.m. And a bunch of people jump out with flashlights and approach the house, and they don't see the car in the front driveway, in the front yard. And as they come around the tree and they see the car there, and the guy turns on the lights and gets out of the car, all of them beat feet right back to the vehicles and peel right on out of there. This is the stuff that really, really crappy tenants do. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter that they owe you $10,000. They're going to come back and they're going to steal from you. And I thought maybe they were trying to steal the washer and dryer. No, they were going to pick that place clean. For all I know, they were going to go for the AC unit, the appliances in the kitchen, anything that they could rip out of that place, they would have probably done it. And I think it charged us about $300 to have security that night, and then we had the security the next night, and we installed the security system. But for those 2 nights, for $600, the amount of damage they could have done and the amount of stuff they would have stole to replace that, easily in the tens of thousands of dollars. And don't put someone in a position where they can victimize you twice. If you have any inkling that you may need a private security after you kick somebody out, just get it, have someone protect your property. It's a huge amount of money you have into an asset. Don't let somebody else ruin it because they don't know how to handle their finances or they don't know how to act in society. Just protect yourself, protect what you worked hard to make. But after that, we're going to put it on the market. We're leaving the area and everything. But I hope you all take away a great lesson from my experiences. I don't wish anyone else to go through anything else like that. And as always, I really want to hear your comments. Please like and subscribe below. But for today, that's all I have. I'll see you in the next one.